We are talking today about sexual frustration when you've lost the keys to your drive and how to get it back.
All right. This is what I'm always describing to my patients who are coming to me. They're like, oh my God, I just woke up one morning. I was like, the gremlins stole my drive. I used to be the sluttiest person of all my friends. I used to have the best sex in the world of all my girlfriends. Where did it go? There's just no connection anymore. I always like to describe your libido as this cauldron or a pot of water. When your cauldron is like up to a rolling boil, then your libido is on track. You're having a good time. You're ready for some sex. You're ready for penetration. Orgasm is close behind. You're in that state. Most women are not in that state when they begin a sexual experience. So when a woman begins a sexual encounter by herself or with a man, a woman, or whoever, when she begins any sexual encounter, if she's starting with a cauldron that is cold, the water in that cauldron is cold, maybe even has ice in it, like it is not rolling or boiling or anything, there's no heat under it at all, then she's gonna need about 45 minutes. So she can give herself that space and that expectation, 45 minutes to an hour to get to that rolling boil. If she is somebody who is often cultivating her sexual energy through nature, through song, through warm water, through touch with other people, through experiences that light her up and turn her on, and she's drawing a sexual energy to her cauldron constantly, she might be starting off her sexual encounter with a warmed up pot. Ooh, the water's warm. It's not hot, it's not boiling, it's not rolling, but it's warm. It might only take her half an hour to get to that rolling boil. Mm-hmm. So that's ultimately what we want to start to do as women, especially because men don't need 45 minutes. They can go from 0 to 100 in a short amount of time. So we want to start to think about, is my cauldron at a 0 or is it living at like a 4 or 5? That way, when you get it up to that rolling boil, that's around the 10 space. You want to look for ways that keep your cauldron at a 4 or 5 all the time.
There's an old saying that men are microwaves and women are crockpots. What we would say in Tantra, a Shakti woman, where it does feel like the river of your sexual energy is closer to the surface, it tends to be highly activated when we are falling in love, and this flood of hormones is giving our brain a bath of the best cocktail is falling in love. You've got dopamine and oxytocin and testosterone, which gives you that drive. All of that is flooding your brain, but it's short-lived. You only get anywhere between 3 months, or if you're lucky, 2 years with that kind of cocktail running through your brain. Once you start stepping into longer and longer term relationship, sometimes it gets hard to tap back into that brain chemistry. So you do have to create engagement. You have to be actively engaged with being a turned on person. Turn on isn't just for the bedroom, it's for your whole life. Passion is not just for sex. Passion is for your vocation, your career, raising your kids, your hobbies, how you eat, traveling, and how you want to spend your free time. We have to make a bridge that allows for being turned on by your life at large. Other places people get stuck is they're not as attracted to their partner. They've lost some of the mystery, and now they find themselves with their spouse and their super siblings instead of lovers. And so you've got to start taking a look at desire. Typically, we have the most desire for our lover when we see them in their genius zone, when they are in their place of like magic, when they're confident, when they know who they are, when they're shining. And that's something to start capitalizing on. Start looking for what is beautiful and desirable about your lover. Put your attention on their greatness. We tend to put so much attention on how they annoy us or disappoint us or bug us. We hate the way that they touch or smell or breathe. So we tend to create a state of judgment which closes our body instead of opens our body. There's so many elements. We won't go into all of them, but you want to think about staying open in your body language. versus closed in your body language. You want to make a list of things that give you pleasure outside the bedroom, inside of the bedroom. You got to start looking for experiences of awe in your life and be purposeful and intentional about engaging these things that give you pleasure. This pie that I get in Boulder Creek near Santa Cruz in California, up at Scopazzi's, it's called strata pie, and it is, oh my God, it's an orgasm in my mouth. Learn to savor. If you can look back at the past and remember highly activated, turned on moments, your brain doesn't know that there's a past, a present, and a future. It's all happening at the same time. So by re-engaging a memory, you can bring that back into your brain and actually feel it in real time. You can also savor something you're looking forward to in the future, like date night. If you've got a date night planned, let's say it's on Friday, start thinking on Monday, the date. How do I want to feel when I'm out with my lover? How do I want to feel when we start making out? How do I want to feel when I'm being penetrated? How do I want to feel when I'm being kissed? Where do I want to be kissed? And then allow your body to really drench itself in that feeling and see if you can't make a plan to engage. How do I want to feel on Friday night? And you use your imagination to cultivate the feeling, to cultivate the engagement. And then you capitalize that, and we call it turn on. In that moment, you are actually turned on. You are building anticipation. And there's nothing sexier than anticipation to build up sexual tension. And then you flirt with your lover every single day until Friday night. And you would do that by going, I've been thinking about Friday night. I'm really imagining Friday feeling sexy or romantic or deep. Start to drop in leading up to this lovely romantic experience and keep your attention on what's sexy, beautiful, and desirable about the one you want to get it on with. Turn on certain music. Remember to dance. Getting turned on and finding the keys to your drive is about being in your body. If you're not in your body, it's going to be hard to access. What do you do to generate living a turned on life?
So one of my favorite things to get turned on is getting in hot water. I love the hot tub. I love the bathtub. I love the shower. Any kind of hot water, naked hot water, that is a turn on for me. Another one that's really helpful and powerful for me is being in nature. And especially when I'm harnessing the chi of nature, I love to go out to the beach and do qigong. I love to go out to the woods and run sexual energy with the trees. I like to play with my dog, you know. Those kind of things where I'm in presence, in the moment, in my body. What you're really speaking to, Leah, is how to embody. And what do you need to do in your mind to actually make that bridge, especially if there's a lover involved, if there's a partner involved. Like, this is what it feels like when I'm dancing or when I'm in the hot water or when I'm in nature. And now I want to transmit that to my lover. How's that? How are they going to receive it best?
Yeah, when I think about what turns me on, I'm aware that if someone comes in too fast to touch me and do all the things, I tend to close. But what I tend to open to is when they look at me from across the room and they look at me up and down and they drink me in with their eyes. Like they want to tear my clothes off, but they're going to wait for me to come closer. So there's a little bit of this game from a distance that I really love. I love it when someone comes close to my body to touch, where they're leaning in and then they wait for me to lean in too. To me, heightens something inside that craves to be touched instead of feeling like I have to back up because someone is trying to get at me too soon. I'm sensitive that way. It took me a long time to learn that, to discover that, oh, this is the thing that you can do, honey, to make me want to reach for your touch. I also love it when someone is touching me and now they're starting to use their hand to conform to my body. I don't like it when like there are fingers up and someone's just rubbing and they don't have variety with how they're opening my body. I want someone to caress me like they want to memorize the shape of every curve. So it's like this long, yummy, I want to feel curvaceous and feminine. If they just want to have me for dinner. Who wants me
There
for
it
dinner,
is.
you know?
There's the drive.
Yes. I mean, just
know?
thinking about it. I mean, just when you think about hot water and then I'm thinking about someone just eating me up with their eyes, I was like, I feel this flutter kind of comes up into my chest and I get excited for what's to come.
Yeah.
So we have to start really bringing our awareness, fine-tuning it, becoming more sensitive. One of the things I love that you say often, Willow, is it's being in the moment. And I think when we're not in the moment and we're worrying or planning or daydreaming or going through the list, we can't possibly feel turned on because we're not even there.
Yeah, when you're in your head, you're not in your body. So it really is about getting your body. Your breath is a pathway to that. Your
breath, yeah.
Every single one of your sense organs is a doorway to the present moment. So which one is best for you? For me, it's sound. For other people, it's smell. What is the thing for you, Leah? You just described touch. What is the thing that, oh, now I'm in my body?
Yeah, that's really true. When I find myself struggling with presence, I go straight to my senses. And I think, what are the sounds in the room? What are the sounds even further out? What's the taste in my mouth? With my eyes closed, what is the light underneath my eyelids? And then what do I feel on my skin? One of the sexiest things to me is feeling the air on my skin. There's something about being so connected to touch that I can feel the air touching me. And that has a tendency to sink me right into the moment. Music is another big one.
Music is huge.
Yeah, we got to start dancing. If you got to lock the door to get your dance on, find the music. Get yourself some sexy tunes. Just get yourself some Marvin Gaye and get with it.
That's right. Yeah, in fact, that's a great daily practice. Pop on that song. It can be the same song every single morning. It doesn't matter. You don't have to. Or you could have a different song every morning. But for the first waking up moments of your day, get in your body, move to that song for the whole duration, and then go brush your teeth and wash your face and put your clothes on and do your morning breakfast thing.
Make a date with yourself. Many of us have not investigated enough how arousal works in our body. So get in front of a mirror, take classes. You have this whole universe in between your legs that you need to find out about. It's called the microcosm. And let's go discover what it is about being in a human body that has a pathway from the brain to the genitals.
Absolutely.
I feel we should just touch on briefly, is it okay to not be in a state of wanting sex, needing sex, desiring sex? As human beings, we're going to go through multiple stages in life that we call a pause period, where it's just not that important. We got other things going on. We've got to stop doing this shame judgment thing when someone isn't in a more active stage of their sexuality, they're in a pause stage. We got to give space to that. That's normal. It's okay. They're just stages in your life. They ebb and flow. You'll come out of it. Just stop judging yourself. As partners, stop shaming your partner. There's nothing wrong with them because they're in a stage of life that's a pause when it comes to sex. Something else is being cultivated that is just as important.
Absolutely. And if your partner is in a pause, it doesn't mean you have to be in one either. You can continue to explore and expand your own sexual being. Your relationship with your sexuality is all yours. You get to do what you want with it, and you get to share it with the appropriate right people in your life. If somebody's in that pause period, probably don't want that pause to go on for years. Being honest and vulnerable and going into conversation and into intimacy around that can be so inspiring to your own relationship with your sexuality.
There's lots of ways to nurture a sensual life during a pause. That doesn't mean you have to have penetration and orgasms has to be the focus of everything. Really, the key to the best kind of sexual connection is when you make it about love and not about a goal. If you're too hyper focused on orgasm will becomes elusive.
Yeah.
If you can bring your attention back to love, orgasms follow.
Yeah.
So remember that. And if you need some help getting started, I recommend writing out a pleasure list. Just list the things that give you pleasure and then engage them. Put it on the refrigerator, check them off as you go. Thank you to yourself when you've given yourself the gift of pleasure, and make sure that it's a vital nutrient, like taking a vitamin, that there is pleasure in your life every single day. It's one of the best things you can do for your health.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what are you going to give yourself for pleasure today? Pop it in the comments. We can't wait to hear from you.
From a Chinese medicine perspective, Willow, is there anything you want to say in our final thoughts about what people can do to support their body to have more of a turned on response?
Yeah, definitely. The cauldron is your adrenals. It's your kidneys and your adrenals. And ladies who are listening, where's your cauldron at? What would you give it? Is it always at a 3 or is it always at a 0? Is it always cold? Is it up there in the 7 range?
Yeah.
You know, start to pay attention to these scales of arousal that are in your body consistently and constantly versus just during sexual interplay. That's where all your sexual chi lives. That really is the pot that you're looking to boil. Taking really good care of your adrenal glands. I teach something called turtle breathing. If y'all have been hanging out with me, you've probably seen me teach that. So turtle breathing every day is huge. Ashwagandha, Rehmannia, Damiana, Maca, all these wonderful herbs to support. Any of the mushrooms are going to be really supportive to your adrenals, your cordyceps. There's a myriad of them. Take good care of your adrenals. If your adrenals are leaking cortisol because you're 5 minutes late to your massage appointment, stop doing that. Start to just be like, it's okay, I'm 5 minutes late, it'll be fine. Talk to yourself in a different way. Your perception is what creates a stressful environment, not the environment itself.
We'll be back again on another topic regarding sexual frustration. So tune in.
We'll see you then.
Okay. Love.